Hey guys, this is Prajakes. Good morning. Welcome to Inside SA Soccer on this beautiful morning. We wake up to the big news from last night that Mbegezeli Mbogazi finally signed for Chicago Fire. It's a huge move for a youngster who just took the local league by storm only in his, what is it, only his second season really. Um, Came on from the DDC, was a superstar for Orlando Pirates. Such immense growth in such a short time because he immediately shone on international stage with Bafana Bafana, made himself almost indispensable to coach Hugo Bruce's team at Orlando Pirates. He grows so quickly. He's suddenly a captain. Yes, this kid was not even 20, 21. He's just turned 20, they say. It's a great move. I think a lot of us, a lot of South Africans have generally looked down on the MLS, the Major League Soccer, but the reality of it is it's a league that's growing. I had an interview with Bradley Cannell, which will be on our show, I think tomorrow actually. And he spoke very glowingly about the league where he actually won coach of the season. Now, Mbegezeli Mbogazi, what does this mean for him? A lot of money starts there. A youngster who's going to be earning lots and lots of dollars in the States. He's going to play for Chicago Fire. Chicago Fire, for a lot of South Africans, let's tell you who they are. It's a team that, of course, based in Chicago. How did they do this past season? They finished eighth on the league table on 53 points. Some 13 points behind Bradley Cannell's Philadelphia, who won the normal league. And actually, those two teams played each other. Bradley Cannell, um, Philadelphia Union were the top team. They played the number 8 in the playoffs. Bradley's team won those two matches and went into the semis. But Bradley was saying in the interview I had with him that Chicago Fire are a good team. They have the facilities, they are a strong team, and he actually was advising that should Mbegezeli really get that offer, he must take it. And it's a very good thing that the youngster has taken that offer. And so here's how it works in the States. Players are signed in different categories. There's your Leo Messi, who are top players. There's development players and all that. And Mbegezeli Mbogazi has been signed into what is called a U22 slot. Now, what is a U22 slot? Let me just explain it to you. To be eligible to play as a U22 slot in the MLS, you have to be 22 years or younger. And then you can continue in that slot until you turn 25. So Mbegezeli Mbogazi qualifies clearly. Unlike here in South Africa, where the clubs just run their league any which way with whatever budget you have. You have Mamelodi Sundowns with crazy budget, and then you have, say, a Magesi or Orbit College who are struggling there. In the US, all clubs are almost allocated similar budgets. And what is the budget impact for a U22 player? They earn, depending on their age and their contract, they get about $150,000 to $200,000, depending on their age and contract. So it's a significantly lesser contract than a standard player's budget charge. But when you think of a South African kid who's going to be earning that kind of money through a season, that's good going for Mbegezeli. And I think for me, it's an open window for him. Here's a kid who is showing that he's very good here locally. He gets an opportunity to go play. We've had Yotlongwane playing in the States. Njabulo Bolom has been there. Bradley Cannell has Makanya at his team, whom he really rates. So Mbegezeli Mbogazi is not going to uncharted territory by South Africans. It's a place where some South Africans have been, and I think he's going to do pretty well. I mean, we saw him. The club released a statement which I found very interesting. Too often when our players go there, We worry, we wonder how they are going to do and all that. But the coach of the director of football, the head coach, Greg Batter, says this about Mbegezeli Mbogazi. He says, "We are excited to welcome Mbegezeli to the club as we further strengthen our backline. In his young career, he has already shown high potential and proven himself to be a strong leader and competitor on the international level, and we expect impact and room for him to grow in the future." And that's beautiful. I mean, if you're the people who are going to be your leaders, because too often we've seen a lot of clubs would sign a player, but then the coach is not necessarily buying into that. Now it's very clear that Mbegezeli is signed and the coach really rates him. Now he's going to be playing his last match this weekend. Orlando Pirates, of course, are playing in the cup final of the what do we call this competition? The Betway, the Carling Knockout. Pirates are playing Marumo Gallants on Saturday out at Polokwane's Peter Mokaba Stadium, and Mbegezeli Mbogazi is likely to play his last match there. It has to be a fitting farewell for a youngster who has done so much. I think Pirates fans, the stadium is already sold out. Orlando Pirates fans, the Ghost, have to go there in full force to give their superstar a send-off worthy of a player who has done so much for them in such a short period of time. Prior to him going to the States, the league in America does not run in the same way as ours or the European one. So their season has just been completed. They've played their playoffs. As I said to you, Bradley Cannell's Philadelphia Union lost out in the semis. They are on the break. They'll be starting again at the beginning of the year. And this is good for Mbogazi because he then also gets to go to the Africa Cup of Nations with Bafana Bafana. And you just think he gets there, he shines, arrives. I mean, how grand would it be for him to arrive at Chicago Fire as an African champion? Because he does that. His standing in the club is definitely going to grow. And his teammates will respect him even more. I'm sure they respect him. He's spoken himself about how happy he is. He was in the States when he went to sign. There was that video that the club released. Typical of Mbegezeli, Khulume Zulu, talks about how great it is to be there. He speaks in his language. And a lot of people have been saying, oh, now this boy, he can't speak English. Is he going to struggle? I don't think so. Football is a universal language. Coaches, when they speak, soccer players, even though they don't speak English, a lot of them can hear the basics of football. Mbogazi is not coached by a guy who speaks Zulu. He's coached by Abdeslam Owadu. He's been coached by Jose Ribeiro, coaches who did not speak English. So I don't think that's a problem. We've had players, in the States, players from Spain, players from who do not speak English, and the clubs will have people who can explain. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. A lot of people have also been wondering, we've had young players who go over to the big league. America is different in that there's a lot to do. He's going to Chicago, a huge city. The temptations are going to be there. But I've watched Mbegezeli, and he strikes me as a kid who has his head screwed on right, and I think he's going to do well. So yeah, that's Mbegezeli Mbogazi, and I think as South Africans we should be proud that one of us has cracked it into that big league. This is the second big transfer that Orlando Pirates are making. You'll remember Mohaou Nkota, also from their DDC, has gone on to play in Saudi Arabia. The talk is Pirates have made close on 100 million on these two sales. That's huge money. It's over the past few years we used to speak about how Mamelodi Sundowns were just coining. As you remember when Sundowns won the AFL, and I remember calculating just the amount of money that they won in that competition, and it was almost like the equivalent of winning the league. Was it about 5 or 6 times? And everybody was saying, oh, Pirates Sundowns are making money. Now, Orlando Pirates are taking over, sort of. They are showing that they can compete with Orlando Pirates. Now they've made these 2 big signings, huge money into the coffers. The Khosas, Nkosana and Mpumi are doing a great job taking over from their dad, Evan Khoza, making good sales. And now, even on the pitch, Orlando Pirates are doing well. I've said earlier that they are going into the cup final. Marumo Gallants, they win that, they add to their coffers, and they are now top of the table in the Betway Premiership. Can they win the league? It looks like they are going to be much more competitive than they were last season. But I said this in the earlier show this week that I feel they made a mistake by not playing their midweek match, because tonight, Mamelodi Sundowns are going to be playing against Siwelele. The two clubs are tied on 13. The goal difference is the same. Orlando Pirates have 28 points, but they have the same goal difference. Now, when Sundowns win today, if they win, they're playing Siwelele. If Sundowns win, they go on to have, what's the point? Let me just quickly tell you. So the league table as it stands today before the matches are played. 12 matches played by both Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns. They both have, Sundowns are on 25 points, therefore second. Orlando Pirates on 28 points, they've won 9, they've drawn 1 and lost just twice. Sundowns, 7 wins, 4 draws, and 1 loss. But their goal difference is the same, it's 13-13. Now, Sundowns, if they win today, it goes to, they will be number 1 because they'll have a better goal difference. And it puts pressure on Pirates. Pirates will then have to, next time when we come back, you are chasing. And that's why I felt they should have played their match. But that's how it goes. Sundowns against Siwelele. It's a match I think Sundowns will win. Siwelele have been very inconsistent lately. They win, they draw. I think they will win that match. I foresee Sundowns winning that and going to the top. There's another match taking place, Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs are going to Chippa United, bottom place Chippa United, who are really struggling. And I think as much as, Chiefs, we saw them against, who did Chiefs play this past weekend? Zamalek came back from being down to get a good point against a very strong team. I fancy Chiefs to win that one. And then there's the Limpopo Derby again, the Polokwane Derby. They call it, we call it the Limpopo Derby because Sekhukhune United use the Peter Mokaba Stadium, but the reality of Sekhukhune United is that they are a Joburg team. Everything about them, they play there, they train there, their offices are there, their players are based in Joburg, but they're playing here at home. It's a match that I think will be tight. Seshego Stadium, compact. Magezi know how to use that stadium. Eric Tinkler's team started very well, but they've been struggling. So I go for a draw in this one. I think it's going to be a draw. Orbit College and Durban City. Now, Durban City, their first match without Gavin Hunt. I'm still surprised that Gavin Hunt has been let go. But, Gavin is very headstrong, a very experienced coach who's been around. He's not a kind of coach who's going to be told by any management what to do, how to do it. It's either his way or not. And I think that's where the problem has been. Farouk Kadodia is known to be a club owner who tends to want to get involved, who wants to tell coaches. I said it at the beginning of the season when he hired both Ernst Middendorp and Gavin Hunt, and I said it's a recipe for disaster. They had Gavin as the coach and Ernst as the, what did they call it, technical director, and that was never going to work, and it showed within 3 months, even less. Ernst Middendorp left, and now Gavin is also gone. What are Durban City going to do? They've got Tladla, who was the assistant, taking over temporarily, but I just think they've shot themselves in the foot, and we will see how it goes. They're going to Orbit College, and Orbit College that is very inconsistent as well. This is a team, I watched them against Telis last weekend. They should have won that match. 1-0 up with less than 5 minutes to go. They concede on 89 minutes, and then in injury time, concede and lose that match 2-1. I think they can beat Durban City. A lot of times when clubs undergo a coaching change, they do well because the players want to impress the new coach. But in this case, it's not a new coach. It's an assistant who's stepping up. I think Orbit College have an opportunity to beat Durban City and I think they will. Durban City come into this match on the back of that 2-0 defeat to Orlando Pirates. So my prediction is an Orbit College win. And then another match, Stellenbosch FC at home to Polokwane City. Stellies have struggled in the league, but they've done well in Africa. Their last match, okay, they've won. They won against Orbit College, and that I think is going to give them momentum. The good thing is they are now playing in Cape Town. They've been traveling without a home ground. They are hosting Polokwane City, and I think Gavin Hunt and his team should, not Gavin Hunt, I'm sorry, Stevie Barker, should win that match. So a win for Stellies, a draw between Durban City and Orbit College, a draw between Magesi and Sekhukhune, a win for Chiefs, a win for Sundowns. Those are my predictions for tonight's matches. All of them start at 7:30. Now, the weekend is coming, and the big match, Orlando Pirates, Magesi, Marumo Gallants in a cup final. The Carling Knockout is a competition that has always, I mean, this is the third season. It's been won by Stellies and was won by Magesi. So it's a competition that seems like it wants to elude the big guns, but I think this is going to change. Orlando Pirates, I feel, have the beating of what's this club? Marumo Gallants. I was at the press conference yesterday where Coach Abdeslam Owadu spoke about the desire that Pirates have. Him and Nkosinathi Sibiso were speaking about just how they believe this is their opportunity to win this. They want to win this thing. And I think they will. Pirates just are too strong a club, I feel, for Marumo Gallants. I liked what Coach Owadu was speaking of. He respects Coach Lafayette at Marumo Gallants, but this is a club he knows. He says, I know how they play. I made them play the way they still do. One of the things he says he did when he got there last time when he was coaching them last season, made them to be a very physical team that runs, that's very fit, and he says they still do that. So he knows their DNA, and he will definitely have a plan. But overall, I look at Orlando Pirates, and I think Orlando Pirates have just too much firepower for Marumo Gallants, and I think the Buccaneers are going to be the happy people come this weekend out in Polokwane, where the stadium will be packed. I will be going to that stadium. But yeah, we will bring you a look ahead, a proper preview to that match in Friday's show. They have a big press conference where the coaches will address the media, and yeah, we will bring you information from that. So yeah, that's Inside SA Soccer with me, Bra Jakes. And as I say, the big talking point here is Mbegezeli Mbogazi going to Chicago Fire, going to carry South Africa's flag very high. I hope he does well there. We are definitely going to have to. I mean, when I spoke to Bradley, he spoke about how the reason we in South Africa do not know much about the American League is because it's not really televised here, unlike your Premiership, your Spanish La Liga. The MLS is on Apple TV, and I guess a lot of us are going to have to invest on that so that we can watch our people. We've got quite a few players out there playing in the States. Mbegezeli Mbogazi going there just ups the ante. And the fact that the World Cup is going to be in the States, of course, the States and Canada and Mexico, just makes it more exciting that we need to get to know about that league once more. And yeah, talking of the World Cup, the draw is coming up next Sunday. Not next Sunday, I'm sorry, on Friday. And that too will be part of my show on Friday when we look ahead. So tune in to Inside SA Soccer, and thank you for tuning in now. Let's meet again in the next show, which will be on Friday. But tomorrow we will bring you my interview with Bradley Cannell. Don't miss it on Omni Audio Africa. That's me, Bra Jakes. Thank you for joining Inside SA Soccer.